Hey everybody, welcome back. Another week in the Up North Journal cabin tonight. I'm in the cabin north and Danny's in cabin south tonight, still doing our social distancing. What's going on, Dan?
Yeah. Hey, what's happening?
Hey,
Still doing it down here south.
Yeah,
That's
all right.
right.
Yeah, I see you still got the blur on so we can't see what's going on behind you there in the cabin too. Nice look.
That's right.
You haven't cleaned the cabin lately, have you?
Actually, I did. But
Did you? All right. Good
the
deal.
wall behind me is a special wall. All right, so I got to do some sharing here.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way real quick and we'll get started with the night show. We popped a little bit early tonight, so I wanted to kind of jump on before everybody else did here and took up all the bandwidth like we had a problem with 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Don't want that to happen again.
Good week for you, Danny?
Say that again?
I said good week for you this week?
Yeah, just the usual.
Walking around the house 18 times?
Well, you got that, and I've been doing my exercise, walking my 5 miles a day.
I actually got out and ran today, first time in a week, and it felt good. I've been just not feeling it, and I needed a big kick in the rear, so.
Oh, there you go.
I got out and took off and did a little run.
There we go.
You seen the feed yet, Dan?
There we go. I got the feed now.
Okay. I know it takes a little while. It's got a little bit of a delay. We got people piling in already, so that's a good deal. As soon as my phone plays nice here, I'll get my share out of the way. And we will move on with tonight's show.
Absolutely.
Have you been shooting your bow at all?
No, I have not.
You have not. Okay.
All right.
All right. Oh, there's the feed. It's actually below your drop tonight. For whatever reason.
All right.
Tammy Delk is in the cabin already, and Craig Hawley. Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? Glad you could join us tonight. We're going to have a good show tonight. Get away from all this COVID talk.
Right.
And have a little bit of fun. Let's see who else. Ron Moses. Ron, are you trucking down the road? Are you running another load of freight? Ken Cicluna's watching. Congrats, Ken, for the big shout out for the bird he knocked down this morning. Or was that yesterday?
Yesterday morning.
And Scott, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but you're watching for the first time from Manistee, Michigan. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Welcome to the show. So, Danny, you tell me when you're ready, and
I will let you know exactly when I am ready. I am just a couple of shares away from getting the show on the road, as my computer just churns away here.
Yep, Ron Moses in Virginia. He's running down the road, hauling a load. Keep it between the lines,
he'll be
man.
back. I think he'll be back tomorrow, or the next day. He said he wasn't going to be home this weekend.
Okay, and hello back at you there, Craig. So, yeah, hopefully everybody had a good week. You know, the temperatures have warmed up here in Michigan a little bit. We've actually had some good weather. I've been doing some outside work, and I've not been able to shoot the bow because the doggone wind will not quit blowing. It's been extremely windy over here in the Midwest for the last 3 or 4 or 5 days. So,
right, yeah.
Hopefully that will let up here real soon. So I'll tell you what, while Danny's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and kick the show off, get the record going, and I'll get our sponsorship stuff out of the way.
Go for it.
All right. Here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal Podcast, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in cabin north. Danny's in cabin south, and we got our guest. He is sitting back in the wings awaiting introduction. But before we get started tonight, I want to make sure that we get our quick shout-outs to, starting first with Hunter's Blend Coffee. Go over to huntersblendcoffee.com. Check them out over there. Use the UNJ promo code to save yourself 10% on your order. So when you check out, drop that code in and save yourself a little bit of money. And along with things being, talking about turkey season, it's not deer season quite yet, but Buck Baits has got a good lineup of things over there that's not just deer related. You can go over there and check out their full assortment of hunting products at buckbaits.com. Use the promo code UpNorthJournal and save 20% on your order there when you check out.
Absolutely. And then, we're talking about it. I know we got BaseMap on tonight, but because we had our date screwed up. But next week,
Rebel 6
will be in the house. And for them, helping us out, they're offering up a 20% off your order when you check out. If you go over to rebel6rubs.com, you use the checkout code North Journal, you'll get 20% off your order.
All right, but that's not all, Danny. We got one more.
That's right, you got it. Slade from Trips from Trade, great guest on a few weeks back, giving our supporters 20% off their yearly membership if you use the promo code UpNorth20, and you just go over to tripsfortrade.com.
All right, well, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and let's introduce our guest tonight. We got Ed Gramza. He is the Director of Business Development from BaseMap. Welcome to the show, Ed.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Glad you guys had me on.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you in the cabin tonight. What's the weather like in Wisconsin?
Today wasn't bad. It was a little windy this morning, a little cold. I got on the water, did a little fishing, but the wind kind of blew me off. But we're on the upward trend, I think. I think we get the weather a day or a little bit before you guys do, but it's getting a little bit better.
Good deal. Hopefully, send us some more good weather, man. We need it over here. We all need something to cheer us up, right?
We do.
I tell you what, man, this stuff of quarantine is getting old, and everybody's itching to get out and do some hunting and fishing. I don't want to dive into this deeply, but since we talked about it a little bit before the show, what's going on over there with you guys? I mean, how are you guys dealing with it?
It's getting, I don't want to say it's getting any easier. We were supposed to open back up on the 24th of this month, I think, like most other states. But our governor announced last week that we are still closed until the 26th of May, so the day after Memorial Day.
Wow.
Could be a lot of upset people. It's not going to keep the out-of-staters from going up to their cabins over Memorial Day. But they want us to hang tight, and there are a lot of people upset. And I saw some people marched on the Capitol in Michigan the other day. I think that's going to be happening here in Wisconsin at the end of the week.
I think they've got Danny. Don't they have another one scheduled for Michigan as well?
They were talking about it. If she decided to extend it, I think was the deal.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's this stuff's got to break soon. I hope, man. It's
I mean, unlike you guys, we get to get on the water with a motorized boat.
Okay, so you
rub it in
right away.
But they did last week or 2 weeks ago. They closed all of our state parks. 2 weeks before that, they made it free to get into every state park. You didn't need a pass, so people were going in there more than usual and littering and just doing stupid things. So they've closed it now for everybody.
So they actually closed the state parks?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, all of them.
Okay, so what they did here in Michigan was the parks are open, but they closed off all playgrounds, they closed off all bathrooms, and they added porta potties.
I was in a park a couple weeks ago on a hike, trying to get ready for my elk hunt in Wyoming in September, and I didn't see a soul. I didn't see anybody. And then a week later, they closed 40 parks across the state because people, like I said, were littering and vandalizing them. And so because of a bunch of idiots, the rest of us have to suffer.
And they're not outdoorsmen. They can't be. People that do that to the outdoors, there's no way they're outdoorsmen. That's just sad.
But I mean, obviously everybody's getting stir crazy, and when the governor lifts the fee to get in, I mean, where else are people going to go? But they couldn't respect where they were, and like I said, ruin it for all of us.
And like you said, they lift the fees where people can enjoy it, and the people, I would almost bet the people who did ruin it are people that wouldn't normally buy those park passes.
Yeah, they are definitely the people that were not normally in the parks.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well, let's get into some good stuff, and let's talk about BaseMap. Danny and I, we've both got the pro version. We got them this year, and I tell you what, I've used other apps. And what I like about yours is how many different layering systems you have. You've got things that go with different states, different animals. You've even got weather stuff on there. Not only that, you've even got a game on there that we can win stuff. And I just love that. Talk a little bit about, just give us an overview of what's going on with BaseMap and let everybody know what they can get out of it.
So, like you mentioned, there's other competing apps out there. We're one of the newest in the market, but obviously we think we're the best. We think we're the best based simply on price, number of layers, clarity of the maps, the speed and functionality of the app. I mean, we just give you so much information at your, on your mobile device or even on your web for such a low cost compared to, our competitors out there.
I got right now just a generic screenshot of the phone app that you guys offer. You can see the roads, you can see the lakes, you can see the streams, you can even see foot trails. That alone, those types of things, where I elk hunted this year, simply blew me away that you can see foot trails on these systems.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the clarity. So we've got 14, I believe it's 14 different base maps, okay, different base maps that you could have between satellite with topography, just topography. We have 3D image or like 3D mapping if you have an iOS, Apple device. But you can really zoom in and see game trails, hiking trails. I mean, old 2-track out west. I mean, you can really see that stuff with the clarity on our mapping.
Yeah, I popped up here, like for instance, you're talking about the animal things that I mentioned earlier. I pulled up state of Michigan, I pulled up the elk, picked the elk as the animal that I wanted to go after, and then the options underneath the elk. There was like 2 or 3 different ones, but it shows my hunt zone. And I want to throw up a quick little shot of that, and this is like the full hunt zone on my app on my phone. But you can actually, when you start zeroing down into this thing, that's, to me, was where I simply started to just get blown away, as the fact that as you creep in, you start to see more detail.
Right.
And
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, we definitely try to make it easy for the user, for our users, not only like from an e-scouting standpoint to kind of figure out where you're going to go, but once you're out in the field to make sure you're staying legal. Because if you have to stay in a specific zone or area based on your tag, for DNR wardens, ignorance is not an excuse when they're asking what the heck you're doing on that property.
Not anymore. It's not. You bring up a great point, because where I was at was a big state wilderness area, and there's 2 different. Well, actually, there was 3 zones, and I could hunt in 2 of them, but the third one I couldn't, and it bordered up obviously next to the one I couldn't go into.
Right.
And it was part of that state wilderness area. So you need to know exactly, like you said, ignorance is no excuse anymore, because with technology, everybody seems to have a phone. If not, they got GPSs, you got all these devices. You need to know where you're at, because you can get connectivity just about anywhere.
Right. And there's a lot of state agencies and government agencies that are out there using, be it BaseMap or OnX or whatever. I mean, they all have some sort of device, a handheld GPS or mapping system on your phone. So they're going to see the same information you're seeing. Mm-hmm. So like I said, ignorance isn't an excuse. You hunt out west, you get the book, and they say this creek and this mountain range are the borders, and where is that?
Exactly.
So like I said, all these agencies are using mapping like this to make sure you're where you're supposed to be and settle any disputes if you've got an angry landowner.
I sure hope the Michigan DNR uses it.
I guarantee you they do.
We're working on it. We're working on it right now.
That's what we like to hear.
BaseMap in the hands of Michigan.
Well, Danny brings up a good point there. The Michigan DNR or any state game agency using these devices, I got to think, with you guys working with them in whatever way you may be helping them, or this is a tool even for them, this does nothing but helps to protect our game species as well. That we're out there hunting, or even non-game species, if people are out there trying to kill them as well. I mean, there's ways they can find things and track people down, and this is just another tool for law enforcement as well, right?
Correct. I mean, it's not good for just like DNR agencies. I mean, any kind of law official. I mean, there's a lot of government agencies that can benefit from this for sure.
Okay.
But I know we are trying to talk with Michigan right now. A couple months ago, the first state we signed, from a DNR side government agency that's using BaseMap is the entire state of Texas. All the wardens down in Texas are using BaseMap this year, or for the next couple of years, actually.
All right. So any violators that may be watching in Texas, you better watch out.
That's right.
Right.
Well, actually, I hope Michigan does use it. And I got to imagine too that not only just for hunting and recreating. If you've got this on and you're in a wilderness area and you get lost and you've got this, you've got to where you can download the map, but even if you've got connectivity, you could actually find your way out.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's got to be a good safety feature just to have on your phone as well. You know, and we talked about the. Oh, go ahead, Danny.
So Mike, you showed pictures of the phone app part of it.
Yeah.
Can you do this on a regular PC as well? If you're at home and you're sitting in your office, and can you do it on your PC as well and your phone, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, for me, I've used it on my PC, my iPhone, and my iPad. Okay, you know, from the PC, I mean, that's where a lot of guys are going to do their e-scouting. You know, looking for drainages out west, or you know, try to find those game trails. You know, here in the Midwest, or wherever they think deer are living, feeding, congregating, whatever. You know, so online you can actually drop all your waypoints, draw lines, do everything you do online goes to your mobile device, and everything you do on your mobile device goes to web. I mean, the two talk to one another, so you're not losing anything by looking online. You know, everything you do on there is going to be on your phone when you get out in the field, and vice versa.
I've actually got the PC version up right now, and so that's one thing I just learned today. I didn't know I could do is actually when I sign in on my PC, I can take and actually download my waypoints from one to the other, or back and forth.
Right.
So that to me is pretty awesome.
So when we're talking, like, you're doing this on your PC, one of the questions coming up right now is like the UP of Michigan, and as you get out west and stuff like that, are these maps well covered, or do we have any dead spots? There are some dead spots. You know, so where I personally hunt in Southwest Wisconsin, the county I hunt in is only about 50% mapped. The UP. So I used to work for the competitor, and when they came out with Michigan for OnX, I mean, the UP was basically non-existent. I know it's gotten better, even for us. You know, it's partially mapped. It really comes down to, how do I want to say this? You know, a municipality, a county, whatever it may be, doesn't want to spend the money. They don't have the money to spend to put this information in a digital format that we can use to put in the map. You know, if it's just in a plat map book or in a, you know, written down on a napkin somewhere, we can't really import that into the app. You know, somebody's going to have to manually log that, and that's just expensive. It doesn't matter if it's us or the competitor, it's just expensive. So if it's not on there, it's because your county or municipality doesn't have the money or doesn't want to spend the money to update their mapping.
Okay.
So great. So you can download an area, do what you need to do on your computer, and then it goes. Oh, you can send that over to your phone as well.
Nope. Nope. It's completely different. So when you're online, you know, you see all the information. You can drop your waypoints. As soon as you log out, it goes out into the cloud. Okay. So any waypoints or marks you do online will transfer over to your mobile device. But if you go to an area that doesn't have cell service, you can from home. Save an offline map or maps. I mean, you can save a lot of maps onto your device if you're in a place that doesn't have cell service. You know, just because you have cell service doesn't mean you won't have access to the information. You just have to do a step prior to going out to the field.
Okay, so Tammy, I hope we got your question answered, and Todd, I hope we got your questions answered. If not, just ping us again and we'll ask it again. But I think I
can elaborate on that a little bit. So, you know, from an offline mapping standpoint, you can download super large maps with low resolution, or you can drill in, you know, to narrow the range, and you get a higher resolution. Any layer that you have active on the phone, be it, you know, your elk units, private land, whatever layers are active on the phone at the time of downloading that offline map is what is included in that offline map. But you don't get the 14 different base maps or 3D. You either have to select a high-res satellite or a high-res topography when you download it.
Yeah,
okay.
I noticed that today. Yeah, it had you select one or the other. And what I also know, I mean, obviously it makes sense. Depending on the bigger size of the map you download, the more room it's going to take. And you got to remember that when you're putting that on your phone, right?
Correct. And there's little graphs at the bottom. So as you're zooming into an area, you'll see that the resolution graph goes up. So what I do is I try to get the biggest area I can with the highest resolution so that I don't have to download as many maps when I go somewhere I know doesn't have service.
Okay. All right.
All right. So like you said, Mike, this is the hunting side, but there's a fishing side to this as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I noticed that too.
So let's take a break. Let's take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about the fishing side of BaseMap.
All right. I tell you what, we're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this. Okay, for those of you online, don't forget, get your questions in. You got anything about BaseMap here that you want to ask? And we'll get back. We'll talk about the fishing side here. So.
Yeah, I hear you, Ken, on that about the UP. I totally get the good question. You beat me to it. So, and Tammy, I'm glad we got your question answered. Excellent.
Okay, let me save this one off here real quick.
And if you guys got any more questions for Ed, just throw them at us, and we'll ask away here in this next segment. Getting Michigan fishing. What map do you need?
You need one that doesn't have a motor.
Right?
You got the non-motorized portion of the app for us over here in Michigan.
Right.
We're going to need a new layer.
Right. Oh, man. It's sad we got to laugh about that, but it's true,
Yeah.
My gosh. All right, here. Hang on one second. I'm almost ready. Just saving this audio off. All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Second segment of the show. For those of you on the podcast, you want to hear the good jokes and stuff. You need to go back and watch the live portion of this show.
Right, you do.
It's always the best part of the show. I swear it is. A lot of good banter.
That's when we can, kind of, as you prepare for the next segment.
Yeah.
Like this next segment. Here we go. We're going to go into the next segment. Besides hunting, BaseMap can help you with fishing.
Yeah, so how's that all work? I mean, what I've noticed is you've got the lakes, and it covers them very well, but it's got like the depth layers, the topography of the lake.
This is a tricky one. So we do have lake and fishing information. For inland lakes, we have about 5,000 lakes mapped, which I'll be honest, isn't a lot. I mean, Minnesota brags about having 10,000 lakes. Wisconsin has even more. Okay. And there's not a lot of lakes in Wisconsin that are mapped. I don't know how many. I don't know how many are in Michigan. It is something we're working on.
Okay.
We've got some plans, to increase the fishing information. But it does show, there's layers that'll show access points, public fishing. Mm-hmm. So even if it doesn't have contour lines, there is some useful information from the fishing standpoint. As far, if you're looking for access on a lake or river or something to get out, we have that.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised because we've got a local lake here, that I grew up on, and it's got contour lines. And
nice.
I was like, yeah, right on. I mean, I think it's about a 400-acre lake, 400,
okay.
450. It's a good size body of water, but I just thought they can't map every lake, But when I saw that, I'm like, this is cool, I mean, I was surprised.
Right. And if you're a Great Lakes fisherman, I mean, we have the bathymetric data for all the Great Lakes, down in the Gulf. But there, like I said, there's 5,000 inland lakes, give or take 5,000 that are mapped right now. But it is something that we're looking to increase. We've got some other things planned for this year that are not fishing related, but we are looking into the fishing side of it to increase the information.
Okay.
Speaking of lakes, do we got trout streams? Terry's asking if we've got trout streams located as well. And in the base maps or in the water, there's actually a map that'll highlight water. It'll kind of turn up the contrast on rivers and lakes. So if you're looking for streams, it'll show that. And again, it'll show some public access to areas like that or waters. Oh, okay, cool.
Cool. I mean, we don't have, if I'm a fly fisherman, but not super into it, so I don't pay attention to flow rates and all that sort of jazz. We don't have any information like that at this point. A lot of people want to know what the flow rate is on a river before they go fishing. We don't have any of that. I can't speak to whether or not we're going to have it. I don't know. But, we're not that advanced with it yet.
Not yet.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed we can get that or get there soon.
What amazes me, I mean, you're talking flow rates. You've got the weather stuff. I mean, I never imagined in my lifetime that we would have this much data available to us on a little device like this, a cell phone, to where you can punch it up and you can plot things, you can search things. It's mind-blowing the amount of digital data we can put in these things and how it can help us.
Right. Yeah. So last year we launched our weather center. It's pretty robust. There's some things that we don't have in it right now that would be nice, but it's going to show you temperature. It's going to show you current wind, barometric pressure, kind of a 7-day forecast. But there are some things that we don't have. We don't show future wind direction. But stay tuned. There's more to come.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was thinking today, I was taking some snaps of this for the show, and I'm like, it'd be really cool if we had weather integrated in this, and I'd be doggone if I didn't look over and well, wait a minute, they do have it right here. It is. We need that kind of stuff.
And we actually take it a little bit of a step further. Okay, so with the weather, we have something we call smart markers. So anytime you drop a waypoint out in the field, it actually records all of the information: current weather, wind direction, barometric pressure, sunrise, sunset, and it includes that in that waypoint so that you can kind of catalog. So if you're out scouting and trying to pattern deer and what kind of weather conditions are they coming out in, we allow you to be able to pattern, catalog that and pattern animals or weather conditions based on what you're seeing.
That is awesome. So I'm sitting in my tree stand, and I mark my tree stand where I hang my tree stand.
Yep.
I'm using that waypoint, and I keep referring back to that and figuring that stuff out. It's got that data. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So it'll when you drop that waypoint, it will record the information at that point in time. It's like a snapshot in time, like what it is right now.
Okay.
But obviously we still have the weather center that's going to show you, current conditions, a little bit of, some future conditions. But so if you're out scouting deer and you mark a waypoint, it will record those weather conditions right now as they are this very second.
Gotcha.
Okay. And it will, you can basically catalog that and look back at it.
That's pretty cool. That is way cool. Anything, I'm just trying to think outside the box a little bit. I got to imagine with the waypoint stuff, for trappers, that'd be a good way for them to mark trap locations so they can keep going back to them. And another thing that I have one time lost and had a devil of a time trying to find was a trail camera. I was putting a bunch out for our camp.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so did I put one over here or not? And I didn't find it. I was like, I had moved it, but I forgot to write down where I put it. So I got to imagine that's a good thing that we can use these for as well.
Yeah, trail cameras, like I said, trap lines. If you're out walking around looking for scrapes or rubs, mark those. Obviously, all your tree stands, where you're seeing deer. There's a million and one different things you can mark waypoints for, and have that when you're out hunting or scouting or need to look back at something.
Okay.
Absolutely. And you know what? Talking to you about this, and where can people go to find out more information? Maybe I'm getting a question here that if people buy, are the updates included in the future, or how's the pricing work on BaseMap?
Yeah, so if you want more information, basemap.com. We've got information there. We've got a lot of tutorial videos and informational videos on our YouTube page, including some hunting videos and things like that. So our pricing is pretty simple, more simple than the other guys out there. We're $29.99 a year for all 50 states. To answer the question about updates, yeah, updates are included. There's no additional fee for updates. So if we update the app, obviously that's free. We try to not for the entire country because it takes a lot of time, but we do quarterly updates for landowner information. But it really comes down to, like I said about the UP, having a municipality update that information and us getting it and being able to integrate it into the map. So $30 a year gets you everything. 3D mapping, all the mapping information, all the layers. unlimited waypoints, unlimited offline mapping options. There is one additional thing you can buy. This may not really pertain to, well, it would pertain to us in the Midwest here. You can buy an Eastman's package. It's $10 a year. You get all the Eastman's Journal MRS data. So if you're searching for an area to hunt out west, trying to find an area that's got high trophy potential, try to figure out your draw odds or how many points it's going to take. For an extra $10 a year, you get all the Eastman's data included in the app and online.
That's incredible. It's just
that is awesome. And a question from Ken is, are there phone numbers listed for private landowners?
No. What we do is we give you their tax address. So I'm in Wisconsin. So if somebody's got land up in northern Wisconsin, but they live in Milwaukee, it's wherever the tax bill is sent to. Okay.
Gotcha.
From a privacy standpoint, obviously with cell phones, you can't give out cell phone information, and nobody's got landlines anymore.
Right.
We basically do 3/4 of the work. If you really want to get that person's information, you could probably find it online from a phone number standpoint, or just go knock on their door, send them a letter. We don't give phone numbers.
Well, I got the portion of the app up right now, and it shows the parcel lines there when you turn that layer on, and I've got my house marked, and you click on that parcel, and it pulls that information up for you.
Right.
And because I wanted to see what people had available to find me. And I was glad my phone number wasn't in there because I don't want everybody to call me. But
even our competitors don't do phone numbers. It really comes down to privacy laws.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
Absolutely. But
if you've got you're out hunting and you shoot a deer, an elk, or whatever game species, and it runs over to an adjoining piece of property that's private, you've got a way now of contacting, figuring out who that landowner is, and maybe hopefully retrieving it.
Yeah, hopefully.
And it didn't always work out that way, but like you said, with that address, big parcels of land, there's not always a house there, so I got to imagine that address is really valuable. At least you could find out where that house is and go knock on that door and make that contact and do the right thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So
absolutely, that's a good. Like you said, you're doing 3/4 of the work. Just do a little bit more work and just be able to get the information you need to know.
What I've found, I don't know if Michigan's the same way as Wisconsin as far as deer hunting. I mean, if you go knock on somebody's door and ask for permission to hunt deer, they chase you off with a shotgun. You go ask to shoot turkeys or geese, shoot every one of those suckers.
Right.
But landowners seem to be a little bit more apt to talk with you and give you permission if you already know who they are. If you know it's Bill Jones, versus going to knock on the door, hey, I'm Ed, who are you? If you know their name, they're a little bit more likely to give you permission.
Right. Yeah. You walk up, knock on the door. Hey, Mr. Jones, I understand that you own the 40 acres over here at the corner of such and such and such and such, and
Right.
I noticed you had some turkey over there. And there's nobody hunting. Would you mind if if me and my son or my daughter went over there and maybe shot a bird? So,
right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even think of it that way, but that's a great point. Just knowing that name opens those doors a lot easier.
Right, because they you don't have to tell them you got it from a mobile app, but they'll think that you did a little bit of research and maybe respecting them a little bit more to find out who they are versus just going and knocking on a random door.
Absolutely, yeah. They might think you went down to the local tax office and looked at a plat book or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes great sense. Just another good way to use these tools here. Is there anything on here that I haven't thought about as far as we talked a little bit about getting yourself out of the woods, but is there any safety feature in here that maybe I've missed and not thought of that you guys promote?
Absolutely. There's something that only we have. This function does require cell signal. It will not work if you're in an area that doesn't have cell service, even if you saved an offline map. We do have live location sharing.
Okay.
So if you're out with a buddy or your son or daughter and you want to know where they're at and you both have BaseMap, you can turn on live location sharing and see who can, see who on your friends list on the app can actually see where you're at.
Well, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. You don't want to know where your honey hole is.
Well, that's why you can select who sees you, and you can turn it off so they can't. You know, if you're going in your honey hole and you don't want them to see where you're at, you can turn it off for a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, if you were to fall off a tree stand and break a leg, you've got they can find out what tree stand you're in.
Correct.
You know,
like out west, guys use it if you're elk hunting and you got to get a buddy to help come pack it out. You know, you can at least see where they're at, and if you're the hunter, you can see that your buddies are actually coming up the right trail or coming like they say they are. I mean, there's a lot of different things, you know, you can use it for.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I thought you said you're coming up here to help me. I see you're still sitting in your tree stand.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sitting at camp.
It's time to come.
Danny, why are you still at camp, man? Get back here.
That's right.
That's good stuff. But, you know, it's just another way that you people out there could use this as another useful tool. I didn't know that you had that option. That's cool.
You know, and like the competition, you know, if you've got if you want to share, if you don't want to share location live, you can actually save a waypoint and share a waypoint with anybody via text or email. So you can actually share where you're at. It basically drops a waypoint on somebody else's account of where you're at, but you know, there's another way to share basically where you're at is just sharing your waypoint.
Well, you know, there's lots of times I'll be in a stand for the morning and I'm out all day, and all of a sudden I'll switch. I'll go to a different stand, and it can be completely across a mile away from where I was before. If you're hunting with somebody like that and you're supposed to meet at a certain spot, I can drop a waypoint and say, hey, meet me here instead. I've moved. You know, moved to different stands. Save both of you that travel time and stumbling around trying to find each other. So I guess you could send them a text too, but I mean, but this way, if you're in an unfamiliar area, you know, and you drop a point, say, here's where I'm at, you know, I see where you're at. Let's meet here at this 2-track crossing right here, you know.
Right.
So, no, that's a great feature. But I tell you what, we're bumping up on our second break here. So let's go ahead and take our second break. We'll step outside, we come back, and we'll dive into this a little bit more. Because I want to know about this game feature that you've got, this little treasure trove. I really find fascinating. So we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll be right back after this. Okay, guys and gals.
Everybody out on Facebook, if you got any questions, keep them coming in. You guys are doing great tonight. Think we got them all up to date. You like the games. That's what it's all about for you.
Well, it's like hide and seek. It's not so much about the gear; it's the hide and seek part of it. I mean, I love that type of thing, and it's just, to me, it's just pretty cool. And I've come pretty close a couple times. That's all. But I've not made the actual pinpoint. But I think the second week or third week I realized that y'all had this, and I played. I was going to put a way marker at a spot. I said, man, that's a perfect spot right there. And I didn't. And that's where it was at. I was like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. I was so mad at myself.
Well, as far as talking about this, you've definitely got the right person on the line here to explain this game. It's not my brainchild, but it's my baby.
Okay.
Oh boy.
It's maybe I can get a little hint here or something. I've already placed mine for this week, so I just finished up today. Good stuff. Hey, that's all part of this hunting. It's like getting out and trying to find a new a hunting location. It's like when you find it, it's rewarding. You found this great little spot. You know there's game there, so it's kind of the same deal.
I mean, part of it, we can hit on this. Part of it is just getting people to learn how to use the app and use it when they're not out hunting.
That's what I thought it was for. Yeah, right on.
And it's a virality thing. We're obviously trying to get more users to get on BaseMap. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Third segment of the show, and I was trying to get some hints out of Ed here about the game, the gear drop part, but he hasn't given any of them up yet. So, but I really do want to talk about this because I think this is it's a fun part of the app to use. It makes you think and it makes you dig, and like you said in the commercial break, it really makes you try to understand how to use this thing and dig deep into it.
Right. Yeah. So We have this game called Gear Drop. It runs every week. It runs Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific time to Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I always have to think Pacific because that's, we're based in Seattle, so I have to always remember, do the math and remember what time it starts.
Right.
But every week we have a different sponsor. We're giving away something different every week. This week right now it's a Prime 1 bow. Or Prime Black, sorry. Next week we're doing some Cryptech camo. We've got a lot of things planned. We've given away some rifles. But like you said, it's a way for us to get people to use the app in the off season, learn how to use it a little bit more because we give some hints, give you a general area, but you really have to dig into the app and turn on layers to kind of narrow down where we're hinting this hidden location is at.
Right.
But it's also a growth strategy. We want everybody on there playing it. It's free to play. Granted, we want everybody doing a pro membership, but it's actually free to play. If you've got the free version or free membership for BaseMap, you have just as much rights or chances of winning as somebody that's as a paid member. But we hope that when you're using it and see how robust this is and wonder what additional information, then we hope we can convert you obviously to a pro member.
Okay, so with that being said, the free membership versus the pro membership, they can turn those layers on for the game only?
Yes. Well, no. So whatever layers are available on the free version are also available in Gear Drop. Just like if you're a paid member, those layers that you have in the paid membership are available. So the paid versus pro or paid versus free. Free, you get only 50 waypoints. You get no landowner information. You get no 3D mapping. You can save one offline map. There's some of the information like the hunting information, like some of the boundaries of units and whatnot. You get all that obviously in the paid membership, but legally, because this is a game, we can't require you to be a paid member. Mm-hmm. So we have to make it fair to everybody.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Well, how did this game thing, how did this brainchild come up? I mean, because I think it's great. It's kind of like hide and seek with hunting gear.
So our founder CEO, Jeff Balch, had this idea, I think a year ago, and finally it just came to fruition this fall. Really, again, trying to get people to be interactive with it, keep our daily active users high, so people can see updates that we have and learn how to use it. And like I said, it's just a way, it's kind of a growth strategy that we have this year. We're hoping to continue it next year as well. But it also gets some play from vendors. The people sponsoring this, a lot of them are sharing it, and trying to help us build like we're doing with them. One of your sponsors that I heard earlier, and when this started, we did a gear drop for them. It was like our second or third gear drop. But things are getting bigger. So we gave a $7,000 rifle package away a couple months ago. We're working on giving a guided hunt or two away. But it really is a fun way to learn how to use the app. It forces you to learn where the information is, how to use the information, and hopefully get close to finding that hidden location.
We were talking in the commercial break. I told you when I first learned about Gear Drop and I started playing, I think it was the second or third week that I played, and I had a location. I was like, man, that'd be a great spot right there. I don't know why I thought it was, but I mean, I just like, if I was going to do a gear drop, I'm kind of trying to think like a survivalist. And I'm thinking, if I had to hide a cache of something, where would I hide? Because I used to do geocaching. So it's kind of, I understand the concept. And I'm like, where would I hide this at so nobody else could see it and I could get to it if I needed it? And that's my thinking every time I play. So, and I'm like, this is a great spot. But for whatever reason, I didn't put the marker there. I moved it. And I'd be doggone if it wasn't where, I mean, it was when that I'm talking with it probably 10 10, 15, 20 feet, you know. I mean, it was
Okay.
that close because there was a mark. I saw where you guys, because you started putting the markers of where it was at.
Yep.
And I go back and check and see, oh, I was nowhere near where it was at, or man, I was really close. But when I saw that was for that rifle you just spoke of. And I was like, man, oh man, go with your gut instinct always.
Right. So, you know, we've had a couple variations of this. When we first started, you know, we didn't give any hints. You could only drop one marker. You know, version 2, now you can unlock additional markers. You get one free marker every week. Okay. If you share with a friend, you know, share that gear drop with a friend, and your friend creates an account. Okay. You share it via text or email. If your friend creates an account and it's verified, you now have 2 markers every week. You don't have to do that one again. There's share to Facebook to unlock a marker. Sometimes there's a marker to do a survey or watch a YouTube video. So, I mean, we've had up to five markers per drop
Right.
to kind of increase your odds of winning. I mean, we've had drops where the winner is literally 3 feet away. I mean, they're right on top of it.
That's what I was going to ask, is how close is the average win? I mean, is it?
So here, I'll tell you right now, I'll give you a little inside information. I'm not going to tell you where the location is, but just kind of tell you how close people get. So right now, so we measure it in miles, and then when we announce the winner on Tuesday, I convert it to feet.
Okay.
But the person winning right now is 0.036228528 miles away from the actual location. So, I mean, that's probably, I'm going to say 20 feet, 25 feet.
That's mine. That's one of my 4.
You know, so it's kind of a winner takes all. So we go out to 3 places. So the winner, the closest one gets the grand prize package. The second place gets like a $100 gift card, and third place gets a BaseMap hat and T-shirt.
Hey, you know, I mean, I think it's great. It's a great concept. You guys have got great prizes. There's lots of different companies that contribute, and it seems like you guys have been giving stuff, you know, that kind of fits every little niche. I mean, this week, and I like the way you did this week. It's turkey season's opening for us, a lot of people here in the Midwest, and the whole scheme of this one is around turkey hunting. So, I mean, it's great. I think it's a great idea.
So I can't take credit for that part of it. You know, so our founder, CEO, Jeff, you know, he's still one of our head developers. Okay. So he's very active, and this was his idea, and he still has his hands in it every week. You know, he comes up with the hints, he comes up with the locations. I do all the social media part of it, and I'm the one that gets all the prizes and contacts the winners. So, you know, so if you get an email, or, you know, it's coming from me, or if you don't like a prize that we're giving away, don't send me an email.
Send it to him, right?
Yeah, send it to somebody else, because, like I said, I'm the one that gets all the prizes. I've got literally, I'm booked out for our grand prizes right now into the middle of August.
Wow, that's cool.
Which is good. Which is good. You know, so you asked if I was at ATA. This is what I was doing at ATA and some of these trade shows. And who knew that this COVID thing was going to happen? Because if I started asking now, hey, you want to donate something, people would probably hang up on me. Right.
Yeah. It's but you know, it's a great way to cross promote other companies. It gives them exposure, and it helps y'all. And it's a win-win on everybody's part.
Correct.
And right now it gives us something to do during the week when there's nothing else there. We can sit there and really scrutinize those hints in that area.
Exactly. And you know, right now we're working on, I'll call it version 3. We are trying to make it a little bit more interactive, a little bit more fun. Maybe give results a little bit more in real time, not really show you who the winner is at any one time and how far they are, but kind of give you a little bit of information about how close you really are to the location.
Okay. Hey, well,
so we're working on that right now.
Any helpful hint, anything to help us out.
Exactly.
But you know, as far as being interactive with the actual app itself, I think that's been the biggest advantage of this for me. Is I've learned to really look at the hints and, okay, so I got to find a layer that has this in it, or I got to find a layer that has that in it. And then when you find that, you turn it on, you figure out how to turn it on, then you go back and you see how it manipulates the area and what it does. And then you start trying to locate that point, what you think it might be the point.
See, and it's crazy that not enough people actually pay attention to the hints. So on our last update for Gear Drop, we actually made it so that you have to drop the waypoint in the little area. Okay, it's highlighted in green.
Okay.
We had waypoints in Havana, Cuba, and middle of Africa. They weren't grasping that it's in the middle of this green area. So now you can't move it out of that area. But still, people aren't following the hints. And if I showed you a screenshot of all the thousands upon thousands of markers, it covers the entire area because people just don't pay attention to it, and they should.
Yeah. Well, let's hope those people eventually learn their lesson, but not till after Danny and I maybe win one of these things.
Right. All the people that don't pay attention, it helps you.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Well, you just made me think of something. You talked about they putting it outside the area, and you mentioned other countries. Does this cover other countries?
No, it is U.S. only.
Okay. Canada?
We're talking about trying to figure out Canada. So let me take a step back.
Okay.
The app itself works in every country all over the world. Okay. Because as long as you have some sort of cell signal, or you can cache a map, okay, in the middle of Australia. Mm-hmm. It's not going to show you any information, but you will see the satellite imagery of Australia. You can mark waypoints. It'll track where you're at because you always have GPS signal. Right. But as far as having like the private landowner information or any of that, it is U.S. only. Okay. Canada's kind of an interesting beast. We're starting to look into it. It's kind of expensive. Do we go with just the crown land, public land, or do we go with public and private? Mm-hmm. It's something we're looking at because, I do the social media for BaseMap, and we get questioned on that probably once a week. Okay. Well, a lot of people from the States go to Canada and hunt, so that's why I was wondering. Correct. So, very interesting. I'll tell you what, we're bumping up here on our last break, so let's go ahead and step outside. We take our last break. We come back, we'll kind of wrap things up. So, we'll be right back after this. All righty. All
right, everybody. Last segment of the show coming up. If you got any questions for Ed and BaseMap, get them in. Charles Byram, you got a comment? We'll roll with that first thing out of the gate here in the last segment for Ed to hear. It's a good one.
Hopefully, it's a good one.
It is. It is. It's pat on the back. Times
good.
2.
He's one of our loyal listeners and viewers out of Iowa.
Excellent.
All right, 1 second here. My mouse is not wanting to do what it's supposed to be doing here. All right. Okay, 1 second here. All right, I tell you what we're going to do, Danny. I'm recording on this side here on the backup, so my primary just decided to say, hey, I'm done for a few minutes. So we'll just go with this. All right, here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Last segment of the show. We've covered a lot of different items here with BaseMap. We've had a lot of fun talking about the game stuff. But Danny's got a question from one of our it's one of our loyal listeners, Charles Byram out of Iowa, and he says 80% of his BaseMap usage is used for getting permission on private property, showing the property owner the app has worked out great conversation starter for him. And also, last season, the app also helped him find his truck after he got lost in one of those great Iowa cornfields in the middle of the night. I'm sorry.
That's a great tip. When you get out of the truck, mark the truck.
Yeah, right? Yeah, always mark home or camp or where you parked.
Exactly.
He probably looked like me when I come out of the shopping center, and I'm like, where'd I park? And I'm on the wrong end of the shopping center, and I got to walk all the way around.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's good. That is good. We've talked a lot about BaseMap tonight. I want to give you an opportunity to talk about maybe the difference between you and some of the other ones where your app sets yourself above the rest.
We talked about it earlier. The number one thing is the price. So our main competitor, Onyx, not afraid to say their name. I used to work with them, so I know them well.
Right.
For the same coverage, the whole country, all 50 states, they're $100. We're $30. Okay. $70 is a pretty big difference right about now in the world we live in.
Amen.
I mean, that's a tank of gas. Well, there's probably 2 tanks of gas right now.
Right. Yeah.
It's a hunting license or two. It's a box of decoys. It's a dozen arrows.
Yeah.
All that stuff adds up. So price. If you have an iOS, Apple device, Apple iPhone, iPad, we have 3D mapping. Okay. Our competitor doesn't have 3D mapping. We have more, like I said before, we have more base maps. Okay. We have a couple different satellite imagery maps. We have a bunch of different topography maps. We have fishing information. We have the Eastman's information. If you pay the extra $10 for that, you have the Eastman's information. It's a faster platform. It's a more stable platform. The clarity of the satellite imagery is hands down better than what our competition has out there right now. One thing that's really cool about BaseMap is it doesn't matter if you have Onyx, Gaia, use a Garmin handheld and save your waypoints. You can actually import all of your waypoints from our competitors into BaseMap, so you lose nothing. So that's one of the biggest things that people say. I've got 1,000 waypoints on my membership now with Onyx. I don't want to lose them all. Mm-hmm. It takes less than 2 minutes to move them on a computer. We've got a YouTube video that shows you how to do that. It actually takes about a minute to do it. So we kind of take all the excuses out as far as why people don't want to switch.
To me, that sounds like a winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, it does. No doubt about it.
But I didn't know that you could import other waypoints. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So if you've got a Garmin handheld, if you plug your Garmin into the computer, and I can't remember what the Garmin program is. Garmin has a program that you can export all your waypoints from a handheld, and it's a simple .gpx or .kml file, and you can import all of that into BaseMap.
Okay, so it works off KML. I'm familiar with that because I've done that with my Garmin.
Yeah, and so all the stuff on your Garmin you can import into BaseMap.
That is awesome. Guess what I'm going to be doing tonight after the show?
Oh, boy.
You guys learned something new tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much stuff in here. Like I said, I've learned a lot of new stuff tonight. So, but I've got my whole hunting camp. We've got all of our tree stands marked. We've done a lot of mapping with it off of my Garmin. So this is something that's going to become very valuable here real quick for me. That is cool.
A couple other things I'll hit on, being that we're both, we're off in the Midwest here on this show. Whitetail is our growth strategy for this year. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys that there's more whitetail hunters than any other segment of hunters out there. I mean, whitetail is king.
Right.
And I hear crap from my friends out west, that are elk hunters. I said, look, there's way more whitetail hunters than all of you mule deer, elk, antelope hunters combined.
Right.
So we're really focusing on trying to improve the app for the whitetail hunter. I mean, I won't tell you the features that are coming, but there's some whitetail. I'm going to say whitetail specific features coming that are, but they'll still help you out west. But we're really focusing on doubling down on whitetail. With the sponsors or sponsorship deals we've signed. With print magazines, television, digital. I mean, most of what we've done so far this year is whitetail centric.
Is that going to be something we're going to be able to see this fall, possibly?
Oh yeah, you'll start seeing it here probably in another month and a half. I mean, all the things we have planned are going to kind of roll out. It's not going to be one big update. Here you go. There's going to be little updates, here and there. But if it all works out, everything will be live prior to when your opening day is. I mean, Wisconsin, our archery season opens the second Saturday of September. We'll be live long before that.
Nice. That's cool. I look forward to it. Definitely look forward to it. So, is there anything on here that maybe we haven't covered, that we haven't asked you, that you want to talk about with BaseMap that we've missed?
I don't know. That's a good question. I could probably go on and on and on. One other little feature, that this is built in there now for the whitetail guys, because we're getting into, I mean, hopefully, knock on wood, the snow's done, so guys are going to start thinking about food plots soon. If you ever wondered what size of an area your food plot is, you can draw like a polygon or a shape on your app or on your computer. It'll tell you how much acreage or fractions of an acre that is. So when you're going out and buying fertilizer and seed, you know how much to buy. I mean, that's not anything specific to BaseMap, but it is kind of a cool feature for guys like us that are going to start thinking about that soon.
I used to do that with my Garmin and trying to figure that out, and it was a pain. But I can see with this, because you've got that measuring tool.
Right. Yeah. Just use a measuring tool. You just got to close it up.
Yeah.
And it'll highlight it. Okay. And it will tell you how many acres it is, and it'll stay on your map. It's just another marker or markup on your map. You could do it on, if you do it on your computer, it'll transfer over to your mobile device or vice versa.
Yeah, and that's I think especially for guys who've got bigger parcels of land, or if you're in a big hunting camp and you've got a lot of acreage, and you've got multiple food plots, and you're like, well, how much tillable land do we have? And maybe right. You've just bought a piece of land, you want to figure that out. You can start marking those things off, and figuring it out, like you said, and leaving those up. Or maybe you want to mark a section of woods that you want to timber. I assume you can take that and transfer that and give that to your lumber guy who might not be in the area. It'd be a great way. Here's my property.
So we did a hunting video this fall down in Arkansas. He's a duck hunter. He guides, but he owns a timber company. Mm-hmm. And just like you said, he uses this for work. And there's so many uses that he has this for, from his timber company. Being able to mark up the map and figure out how many acres of timber he's got and things like that.
Just if you start thinking and applying yourself to something, you can use a tool for so many different things. And I mean, it's just
correct.
Awesome. Awesome.
And this isn't just a hunting thing. If you're going out hiking with the family, going out west on a backpacking trip, I mean, it's got all the trails and, in the national parks and the state parks. It's got all of that. It's not, we market it as a hunting app, but it really is outdoor centric. I mean, there's a lot of things. Oh, I did come up with something we haven't talked about.
Okay.
So in the app, we have something called an outdoor journal. Okay, it's kind of like a Facebooky type thing in the app. Okay, so you can share photos or just waypoints or information. It's kind of an outdoor journal, because a lot of guys or gals, my aunt likes to write everything down in a notebook. Okay, mm-hmm. from over the years.
Right.
Now you can log that all on your device. You can make it private, so only you see it. You can make it. You can share it limited, where I can see it, but I can't see the location. Mm-hmm. Or you can make it public, where it actually shares the location as well. So it's a way for you to kind of catalog, again, your scouting trips, your hunting trips, what you saw, and then if you are successful, we added this a month and a half ago, a harvest log, where so if you do kill a buck, you're going to enter all the information. When did you shoot it? How big it is? What did you shoot it with? Again, just logging everything from that hunt.
Okay.
That's cool.
I got to think from maybe if you've got your camp, everybody at camp's got one of these, and you start sharing that information, we can have a virtual a deer harvest record for the year. That'd be awesome.
And we're working on something a little bit towards that, as a future update as well.
For like maybe that everybody could log into and pay. I mean, obviously it'd be a bigger fee, but you could have multiple users possibly, or no? Am I thinking wrong?
Maybe some more advanced map sharing.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay. All right.
That's cool.
Gotcha. There was something else that just popped in my head, and I just forgot it. I'm sorry.
That's awesome, especially if you write down your information you need to know, and if you can share it later, that's even better, because, like you said, Mike, when you have your whether you have your camp meeting, 6 months later, you guys can all say, okay, everybody give me your data, and everybody can just share your data, and you have it.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, so in BaseMap for that journal, anybody that is in your phone contact list that has BaseMap, you can actually start friending them or following them. So then you can actually see their journal posts, and that's actually how you turn on your live location sharing.
Okay.
So the more people that that use BaseMap, you'll be able to follow them.
Okay. Yeah, I've done a little bit of the journal. I mean, some of those hints in the gear drop had you post pictures.
That's right.
In the journal to get you used to doing that, which I noticed.
That's correct. That's correct. That's another way to unlock a marker is to post a public post in the journal.
So I started doing that, and I found that out, and then I had a couple of people that started following me. I mean, obviously it's like Facebook. You've got something in common, and you just start sharing things. So it's
and you get to catalog it too. I mean, there's, gosh, I don't know, 20 some different categories: hiking, fishing, boating, hunting, power sports. There's a bunch of different categories, so you can follow different categories. If you don't care about fishing, you don't have to see any fishing posts.
Yeah, you filter it. Yeah.
Yep.
I got you. Yeah, that's good. We've talked about the hunting side and the fishing side, but you mentioned hikers using this and campers and things like that. Are you starting to see, or do you even know, are you starting to see more growth in that area?
Honestly, we haven't really paid much attention to it. I mean, our social media and our marketing really is 99.99% hunting. Like I said before, I do the social media for us, and I'll throw in a fishing picture every once in a while. Mm-hmm. I would like us to do a little bit more in the outdoor recreation side, the hikers and the backpackers. Mm-hmm. But as you guys probably know, that's a little bit different. I backpack and stuff in the national parks. Okay, I'm a little bit different, but a lot of the people out there don't care about hunting, and they don't want to be associated with a hunting company, hunting app, that sort of thing. So it's kind of a
it's a
gotta walk a
catch-22.
fine line almost.
Right.
No, I got
you. Yeah, there's different genres and different mindsets. Let's just put it
Correct.
that way.
I mean, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
But it's a very fine line, because you don't want to upset those people and have them all start coming at you and have to deal with that kind of nonsense.
Yeah. Well, when they open it up and it says, "Oh wait, this is Colorado and it's mule deer hunt zone. What's this all about?"
Correct. Exactly.
So I can understand that. We got a few minutes left here. Is there anything else that you can think of right offhand that we need to mention? I mean, obviously, go to BaseMap.com, check it out there, give it a test drive, and then the $29.99 for the year. And that year starts when you buy it. It's not like at the beginning of the year, right?
Correct. It's the day that you hit subscribe. That's your. That's when your year starts. It's not a calendar year. January 1 to December 31st.
Gotcha. But
I mean, at the very least, go out there and download it, create an account, and try the free version.
That's how I got familiar with it.
Our free version, good or bad, I mean, depends on who in the company you talk to. It's very robust. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys know there was a lot of information in the free version.
Yes.
I'm in the camp that I would say it's almost too much information. We wet your whistle a little bit too much, and you wonder, well, what do I need to pay for it? Why do I need the paid version? But there is a lot of information in the paid version as well, that you don't get in the free version. But at least try the free version and see how you like it compared to, if you're using a competing app out there.
Exactly. Especially if you're going to hunt out of state. For me, I started hunting Indiana last year. And I don't know the landowners around there. I have no clue. And if I ever have to track a deer across to another parcel, guess what I'm going to use? And guess why I get to use it? Because we've got the pro version, and that's what you need it for.
Right.
Speaking of that, you Mike, you just brought up a real good question. The lot lines that are given. On average, would you know what the accuracy of that line is? So, like Mike was saying, that if he had to go over to another, he's like, "Oh, am I on the edge, or can I go close?" Or what's the accuracy of those lot lines?
The accuracy of the plot line should be spot on, because it's all surveyed. Okay, the information is basically public knowledge. It is accurate. Now, we can't guarantee the accuracy of your mobile device. I mean, there's obviously different things that could change how accurate you are. But I would say GPSs now are accurate to within like 10 feet, ish. But it really depends on your real world conditions. If you're in a tree canopy or in a canyon out west, well, I can't guarantee it's 10 feet out there.
No. It's just an average. So we'll say about 10 feet, and that's good because I don't need Mike going and getting arrested because he just shot the biggest buck ever, and now he just crossed someone's line.
Well, as we stated earlier, there are DNR agencies, across the country that use these mobile apps, okay, or a handheld, because landowners, especially out west, their fence from 2 generations ago blew down, and they think, well, the fence is gone, I can just expand my land for free.
Exactly.
Well, there's still a property line there that has to be respected, whether or not the fence is there or not.
Exactly.
So that's where disputes like this come into play. Is you're legal, the property owner probably knows you're legal, but he wants to get you the heck off of there because he thinks that it's all his animals and all his land.
Right. I've got the picture of that portion up right now, and I've got my parcel up, and I got to say it's spot on. I mean, I'm looking at it and I've looked at it on my phone. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty doggone accurate. Now, I've not walked outside with the GPS tracking on to figure out, okay, do I cross that line exactly where I know where my fence is? That's something I guess I need to check out. But like you said, when we're out in those hunting situations, if you're in unfamiliar territory, I got to imagine a couple feet one way or the other is not going to throw you under the jailhouse. I got to imagine, but you need to respect that line. When you know you're coming up to that line and you see the deer, if you see them on a hillside, 100 yards over on the other side, then go ask the neighbor. Don't play games. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. So. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be blatantly, trespassing.
Exactly.
That's when you get into trouble.
Exactly. So, with the few minutes we got left here, let's turn the tables just a little bit here. You hunt Wisconsin. What's your game of choice that you like to go after? I mean, we're gonna get on the personal side, get to know you a little bit.
I mean, I love going out west to chase elk and stuff, but man, I am a whitetail hunter, true and true. Okay. Okay. I love whitetail and turkeys that you see behind me. I go out west just about. I try to go every other year, but it's turned into every year. I didn't go out west last year. I actually drew my bear tag in Wisconsin. That took me 8 years, and I shot a 440-pound black bear on the 3rd day of my season.
Nice.
I am headed out to Wyoming, hopefully in September, to chase mule deer and elk. But yeah, I'm a whitetail guy. Elk trips my trigger, but man, nothing trips my trigger more than sitting in a tree stand all day waiting for a big whitetail.
Okay, archery or rifle?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I mean, I grew up rifle hunting, okay? I mean, in Wisconsin, our rifle season runs from the Saturday before Thanksgiving to the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Uh-huh. That is a 9-day state holiday, okay?
Right.
that as soon as I get a new calendar every year, that weekend, opening weekend is highlighted, There's nothing that is going to stop me from going. So I love rifle hunting just for the tradition. I hunt with my family, my aunt, my uncle, my cousins. We've got 100 acres of land in southwest Wisconsin, and just the tradition of it, I love. But man, I do love sitting in a tree stand with the bow also.
Right on. That's to me, that's my perfect game right there. Being a tree
because in Wisconsin, I could actually shoot 2 bucks. I could shoot a buck with the bow, and I can shoot a buck with the gun. So
okay. Now you said southwest Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I hate to spoil the party, but
before you go there,
you know where I'm going.
Hold on, Mike. We got a question from Charles Byram.
Okay.
Because I know where you're gonna go.
Okay.
Does the app automatically renew each year, or do you get notified that it's time to pay again?
It will, if you sign up online, it will automatically renew. Because you have to put in credit card information, it will automatically renew at the end of the year.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, let me ask you this: if you don't do the credit card thing online, let's say, we got the card. If you have like the little iTunes card type thing, or get a code, it will not auto renew because there's no credit card associated with it. With that though, if you lapse a day or two, let's just say for instance, does all your information on your account go away?
No.
So that
it's still in the cloud. Because
it's in the cloud, and it's also you get whatever the free version is. Mm-hmm. So it saves that information.
It's still there.
Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. All right.
Yep.
Now I want to mention 3 little letters for the Southwest.
Oh boy.
Are you guys dealing with it over there at your property, CWD?
We're kind of on the outskirts of it.
Good.
I mean, we're in
Good.
a CWD area. Okay. I've never seen a CWD deer on our property.
Good.
I haven't heard of anybody in our general area shooting or seeing CWD deer. I mean, the epicenter in Wisconsin for CWD is a little bit southwest of Madison, Wisconsin, which I drive through, on my way to hunting camp. But, where I'm at, we have not had a problem, knock on wood. Not to say it's not there, but I haven't seen it.
Good. Okay, I'll leave it there. We could jump into this for 5 hours, but we're dealing with it here in Michigan, and I mean, everybody knows what's going on. I was just curious when you said Southwest. I was like, well, I got to ask.
You knew where you were going. I knew where you were going.
So I mean, obviously, they encourage testing of deer. If you shoot one, they encourage that you get it in and get tested. Now they've set these dumpsters, during the season all across Wisconsin to go throw your carcasses into a dumpster versus just a landfill or out in the woods somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, so they are definitely doing things to try to mitigate it.
Good.
Being that I hunt out there and live in the eastern Wisconsin, I'm not supposed to transport a deer from there to the other side of the state. So I have to process it out there and
all that good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Well, once again, before we let you go tonight, go ahead and tell everybody once again where they can go find BaseMap.
Yeah, so go to www.basemap.com or go to your respective app store, either Google Play or iTunes, and download. You can download it from either one of those and set up a free account. Hopefully you like it enough that you're gonna, get the $30 membership.
I got to say, I have been blown away with what the pro version has. It's just, to me, I can't say enough good about it. I love it, and I love playing the gear drop. I love playing the gear drop.
I like to hear that. I can't, so I see the top 10 every week because I'm the one that reaches out to the winners.
Yeah.
Hopefully I see your name soon.
Well, we'll see. I just got to dig a little deeper and start scrutinizing a little more. But
I'm telling you, like I said, we're booked out through August right now. I'm starting to call other people to get more prizes, past that. But we've got some really cool stuff coming up in the next couple months.
I look forward to seeing it. So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and sign off for the podcast portion. But if you hang on, we'll wrap up the live stream as well. But for those of you on the podcast, go over to iTunes, give us a review over there. Don't forget, share us on your social media. Go over to BaseMap. They've got a Facebook page as well. Go over, check out their social media sites, and just go over and sign up for the free version. It's not going to cost you anything, and I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. So go over and check it out. That'll do it for us this week, folks. We'll be back again next week. All right. For those of you on the live stream, any last questions or anything?
Any questions you got?
And
Billy Hoffman.
I see that. Yeah. Go ahead, Danny.
He's got to be a funny guy. What's the most annoying NFL team, and why is it Green Bay?
Oh, man. Hey, just remember, Green Bay is called Titletown, and it is the Lombardi Trophy you're playing for.
Let him have it, man. Let him have it.
See, and I went to college in Green Bay. I was telling you that, before we started this. I went to college in Green Bay. My freshman year of college, I'm going to date myself. My freshman year of college was the year that Brett Favre won the Super Bowl. So I was up there, during Favre's heyday, and now we've got Rodgers. Just remember, it's the Lombardi Trophy that you were playing.
You got to remember. You got to remember something else. That Green Bay has had a heyday. The Detroit Lions
are eating hay.
I will admit, every year, and one of these years I'm going to be right. I always you look at on paper, and it's like, damn, Detroit's going to be good this year.
Yeah,
and then they suck.
Yeah,
one of these years
then they start the season.
So I'm assuming you guys are Bears fan, or I'm Lions fan.
I'm
right?
not. No, I'm not. No, I used to be a Houston Oilers fan. If that dates anybody, that dates me.
Okay.
But I don't. I just watch it passively. I'm more of a college football fan. So.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely more college, but Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Packer fan.
Do we even want to go into college, knowing what state you guys live in?
No. I guarantee you. I guarantee you don't know who I root for.
Are you state fans or Michigan fans?
Neither.
Oh, really?
No, I was born in Alabama.
Okay.
Roll Tide.
God.
Roll Tide, baby. You want to talk about Titletown?
I saw a meme recently, kind of like this Green Bay thing. Was if you had to get rid of one college football team to get rid of COVID, why is it Alabama?
Yeah, right. It is what it is, man. I tell you. But no, I was born down there and moved up here as a kid, real little kid. My mom and dad, worked in the factories, and I'm stuck here. So.
Well, I guess I can't hate you then. At least it's not Michigan State or Michigan.
I'm kind of a Michigan State fan. I pull for the.
Okay.
I'll pull for
Michigan
them.
State isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Michigan. Everybody hates Michigan.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything because I got people on here that watch the show. Don't send me hate mail.
on Wisconsin.
Yeah. Send it over to Ed. PM me and I'll give you his email address. I wouldn't do that to you. No, I wouldn't do that to you.
I can't believe people are hating on Green Bay. I mean, if you've got all these Lions fans, and if you're still watching, can we at least agree that nobody likes the Bears?
Yeah, I got to give you that. I got to give you that. So, oh man, I tell you what. For those of you out there in the live stream, we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. A lot of great banner back and forth. Just like I told people on podcast, go over check them out at BaseMap.com and get that free version. I'm telling you guys. And if you don't like it, tell me and tell me why, because I'm gonna let him know, and I guarantee you, I'm not gonna get any complaints. Because I love it.
I'll tell you one thing real quick here before we go. Another thing that makes us different is, we're a small team where we can do things quickly. Okay, so I mean, if you're using the free version or the paid version, and there's something that you don't like, something you want to suggest, shoot us an email. At support@basemap.com. Tell us what's going on out there. You will get a response, and we'll look into if there's a problem or if you have a suggestion, we look into it.
There you go.
And we can do it quickly.
You can't get any better than that. I do have one question before we do let you go, and it's related to the imagery on this. Satellite imagery. How often do they redo that?
I honestly don't have an answer to that.
Okay.
It's not our imagery. Okay, it's like Google.
Right.
Google imagery. Some stuff is older than others. Do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
So what I've found is that even if you don't tilt the 3D, I always leave the 3D satellite on. The 3D I found is the most recent. That's actually, so the 3D is actually Apple Maps.
Okay.
Their imagery seems to be a little bit more recent than some of the other stuff. And you'll also notice that as you zoom in and zoom out, it'll change. It really depends on, again, how old it is, and the image will change based on how far you zoom in and zoom out.
I noticed
but it is a service, just like our competitor. We don't have any control over it.
Sure. Well, I didn't know if you knew that or not, but
I mean, I could tell you that, if I told you that your imagery where you're at is a year old, it could be 3 years old for me, and I'm not that far away.
Yeah, well, I know ours here, like my house, I zoomed into it just as tight as I could go, and the car in the driveway we no longer own, and I think that was in 2016, but I was on 2D. I wasn't on 3D.
Yeah, try the 3D. It'll, because like in my backyard, we took down some trees, put up a shed. On the 3D, it's there, and that was only 2 years ago.
Okay.
On the 2D version, it still shows all the trees and stuff that are gone.
And the reason I asked that question is that our property, we've done a lot of logging and timbering, and our view has drastically changed, and I just wondered how soon you could see that reflected within the map.
I honestly don't have an answer to that. But check out the 3D map. Like I said, even if you don't tilt it to 3D, you can still use it. But I found that map is definitely more up to date.
Right on. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
And parting words from Billy Hoffman is that the University of Wisconsin library burned down and lost both of its coloring books.
Oh, gosh. Billy, no free version for you. You see Billy Hoffman signing on for free version. Cancel it.
Oh, man.
Man. He's a comedian. I mean, literally, he does a little stand-up comedy, so...
There was a debate. We got screwed out of a ranking, that was just posted online or something about what universities produce the best running backs. We weren't even listed. We've been producing running backs for years.
Right.
we're a good team.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I think of Wisconsin, I think of running backs. That's one thing I think about. For especially out of the Big Ten. So.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, you get a hold of him. You two can continue this conversation. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, my brother says he just installed the app, so.
Good deal.
Nice.
We want to know what you think about it, Terry. Get in there and play with it, and make sure you do the gear drop. You'll have fun with that. So, but that'll do it for us this week, guys and gals. I appreciate the talk back and forth and all the questions you guys put in tonight. Go over. Don't forget Wednesday. Danny will be dropping this over on our YouTube page, and this will also be posted later on Facebook. It'll reside there as well. So you guys share it as much as you want and with your friends and family. Also go to our other social media sites, and give us a like there. Share our content there as well. It helps us. It helps the people who support us. And go over to iTunes. No, that's a podcast. I'm sorry. I'm losing train of thought here.
Yeah, you are.
So, but I tell you what, we're back again next week. Rebel 6 Rubs. Who's with us, Danny? Is joining us?
Matt from Rebel 6 Rubs. Possibility that he's going to be doing a little cooking for us. And I think you and I are going to make a dish each to share and enjoy as we talk with him.
I'll have something here made. I'll be ready to rock and roll. I guarantee you I'll have something with Rebel 6 on it.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, y'all take care. We'll be back again next week. And if you want, Ed, just hang on just a second with us.